Welcome into the Sports Buffoons Podcast.
Hey there, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome on into the Sports Buffoons. My name is Tanner Dawson of the Sports Buffoons Whiskey Sports Podcast and Let's Talk Sports. Join with me, our two other buffoons here. We got Mike Settle. He's taking the day off for moderating to get prep for March and April of draft talk.
I'm trying to save my voice from all the talking I'll be doing during draft season.
Yeah, so just brace with us there. And of course, JG, who joins me every Saturday morning for In the Hoop. JG, what's up, dude?
What's up, yo? I want to get into this shit because we need to talk about some free bets and some betting.
Free
talk
bets?
At the end of the
What are we talking
betting.
about?
You got to get to your betting segment.
Betting segment?
Betting segment.
Yeah, we got to bet on the NBA, man.
Apparently, he has a betting segment he wants to talk about. So,
Welcome into the Sports Buffoons. Guys, make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow down below for the show. Helps us out with the channel. Lets us continue to do what we're doing. So I'm excited for it. Today, we have a great lineup here. We're going to talk NFL franchise tags. Who knows what that'll bring up. Then we're going to talk a little NBA action. And then we'll finish it out with a little bit of scouting combine. So I'll do a lot more scouting combine tomorrow on the Whiskey Sports Podcast. Scott and Johnny joined me there. So you guys check that out tomorrow for more in depth, but we will talk a little bit about it today. Guys, let's start it out. What are we drinking?
well, I'm back to my chick drinks again. I got some Mike's Harder green apple. I don't know why. You know, when we first started this show, the whole idea was like, I'm going to have a different craft beer for every show, right? It was
You
gonna be
did state
something-
that.
Something real unique. It was going to be like a IPAs or stouts or something unique for every show, right? And now it's just turned into the same old buzz balls and Mike's Hard Lemonade. I'm really going downhill with this whole thing. So I think maybe sometime soon, maybe not too soon, but I got to get back on the IPA train and get some good drinks back on the show for you guys.
So before you go, this Facebook user says, I tried to join Aaron Rodgers on his blackout trip, but my character was too bright. So what do you got, JG?
Aaron Rodgers is going to play for the Raiders. That's all I know. So fuck whatever. Your
The
question
idea of
was,
a blackout trip with Aaron Rodgers, though, reminds me a lot of some of the things I've done in the past. So I think that'd be a good time.
It would be amazing at time. I'd be going to Vegas like as many times as I could.
That
Like,
was
I
Now,
see
what is a
Aaron
what does a
Rodgers.
blackout trip really entail?
That was Carlos, by the way, who commented. Carlos, appreciate
What does
you.
a blackout trip entail?
Yeah, what does that really mean for Aaron Rodgers?
That just means that you don't remember what happened, right?
Well,
Yeah,
I
well,
know
I-
it's a I believe it's a trip of communication has been disconnected completely. Like, he doesn't know
okay,
anything
yeah.
that's going on in the world, and it's just him and his thoughts essentially all alone.
No. So I
That
know
sounds
what
like
that.
fun.
I thought you were talking about like when you get drunk and you
Not-
black out.
not a
No,
black-
this is a different thing.
It's
So-
a dark out. What you're talking
No,
about.
so
Mike.
what he's doing is he went everything dark, and so you don't get candles, you don't get a flashlight for 4 days.
Correct.
You are completely blacked out. You don't see shit. I don't know if they bring your food to you or if you just eat your own food
I
or
think they
whatever, but
bring you
you
stuff.
can't see it. You can't see it. You just have to put it in your mouth and hope that it tastes good.
have you seen the
Which I actually like the idea of it. I would probably fucking do that
it's-
bullshit.
So
That's
a lot of
interesting.
it, I believe, is similar to like basically you're in a container with a little bit of water and you kind of just sit there.
And the whole time?
I think so.
Well, what the hell?
It's so weird.
So what if? Are you sure he ate, or was he fasting the whole time?
No, he was eating. You get to eat some
But
stuff.
you have to be in the actual dark during this.
Yeah, you can't see it.
Who the hell? Like, where does this even come from? Like, where do you go to make this happen?
I don't know.
Like
Dark-
that? I'm
was it-
serious. Like, I want to know where this location is because I might actually do it one day. It actually sounds kind of fun. But the idea of disconnecting from the rest of the world would be my preference, though. I'd be cool doing that for about.
Sounds like it might be in
6 days.
Mexico or like Central America. I feel like that's
Yeah,
something they
I'd
might
have
do.
we'd have to do some
Maybe Alaska. I
crazy
don't know.
stuff on it to see.
So-
Let's see. We already got some comments here into play. Let's see here. Bills. Carlos says the Bills can pick up another former Titan and oh yeah, the Titans dropped their left tackle today. So-
Taylor Lewan
Yep.
is now a free agent.
Still forget about running the ball. It is the Mad New Yorker. That is Carlos out here. Scott says it's 6 more weeks of winter if Roger sees a shadow.
Hey, the good news, see,
don't wanna
in,
do
in
that.
Kansas here, we've had great weather. So
Until today. Now
Yeah.
this evening.
Yeah, it's been fine. It's
30
60
degrees.
It's 60 degrees throughout the day, so I'm good with that.
Leaving Las Vegas dark, that's for sure. His diet is in
And,
darkness and is brats.
So Peru, it's in Peru,
Peru.
is
Okay.
where Rogers goes for this black.
What did I? So there you go.
Central
I said
America.
I was like Central South America.
There we go, man.
So
Sounds
yeah.
cool. I mean, I need to look into this.
I
should.
think I'm gonna go do it.
I
I
feel
think
like a mental detox.
I think the three of us should go do it together because I think it's
I don't
like
know
an
about that.
enlightenment. It should be an
if
enlightenment
we're all alone in the dark together like that.
trip. Only
for 3
if I
days.
get if I can get Deshaun Watson's masseuse, then I might do it. But if I can't
Which
get
one?
Deshaun Watson's masseuse,
Which one?
the best one, then I'm not
What
gonna
was
fucking
that?
do
What
it.
was that? Was it Euro Trip where like the lights went out on the train and he kept touching? He's like, Muscusi, when the lights would come back on. That's what it'd be like over there in the blackout.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, I have a masseuse, and then
Or-
next thing you know, it's Tanner.
Or if I get
Muscusi.
so here's what this would be my best request. If I can't get Deshaun Watson's masseuse, I would want Robert Kraft's masseuse that he had just a couple years ago. If I can get
No.
that, dude, then I would go dark. You
Whoever
know?
that masseuse was, I'll pass on
Yeah.
her fondling some old balls like that. I think
Really?
I'd rather have something more. Just I don't know. No,
But she wants
Just a
younger
no.
balls. You don't want to give her what she wants?
I don't want Robert Kraft's sloppy seconds in
Oh,
any kind of way.
gosh.
So I'll pass on that.
That's
masseuse.
true. I'll give you that. You don't want that shit.
But
All right,
with,
guys.
with Watson, you got a large list to go through. You could pick whatever one you wanted.
All right, yeah, there's a large list. All right, before we get too off track here and start talking about spraining stuff, let's get back in the track here. All right, so big thing going on starting yesterday. The NFL franchise tag begins for teams. Today there was some news. Titans, for instance, released the wide receiver Robert Woods, Taylor Lewan, Zach Cunningham, linebacker, and Randy Bullock, the kicker, which opened up about 37.9 mil of cap space. So got that. The Bears released Al Quadin Muhammad, putting them back over 100 mil for cap space here. We won't talk about Kevin Love yet because that's down the road, I'm sure. So, but yeah, there was some news there for releases today. Now there are some big names in the cap space. I actually like to talk first. Get this out of the way of our Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, Orlando Brown being one of the guys for tags. Is there anybody else that's eligible for tags for Chiefs, Mike?
Well, there are, but there's no one else that would really make sense to be tagged in this situation. So, I mean, obviously, you're not going to use that on a guy like Mecole Hardman, who is a free agent now at this point. And then Orlando Brown just makes the most sense because, I mean, he had his ups and downs throughout the year, had a really good Super Bowl, but so did Andrew Wiley, for that matter. The whole offensive line had a great Super Bowl. But I just think that the Chiefs are still in this mindset with Orlando Brown Jr. of like, we don't really know if you're worthy of being the highest paid left tackle of all time, because that's the kind of money he'd be getting if he gets a long-term contract like he wants. Now, obviously the Chiefs can only tag him one more time. And so that's the rules. You can basically go back to back, but after that, that's it. So I think one more year on the tag would be fine because he's still a young player. And if he does succeed and improve his footwork, then at that point, going into the following year, then you can give him that, 5 or 6 year deal that he's won.
So you're already going to possibly pay the guy. If you tag him, you're looking at a second tag that puts him on a 2-year, 36.5 mil spread across 2 years. What's your thoughts, Jason, on that? Do you think he's worth that for a tag? And again,
I just think you have to tag him, and it kind of reminds me of Lamar Jackson, who we're going to talk about a little bit later. It's like, it's two completely different situations in that Lamar Jackson, he misses a handful of games each year, but Orlando Brown, while he's in all of the games, he just doesn't wow you. Like, I feel like Orlando Brown has a little bit more to prove. Whereas with Lamar Jackson, like, you don't have anything to prove except that you can be on the field for, all of the games instead of missing a handful of games each year. And so, yeah, I think, for Orlando Brown, I definitely want to tag him this year because, I mean, yeah, he's got value for the Chiefs, no doubt, but like you need to prove it, dude. Like, I want to see this guy prove it. And I have no problem giving Orlando Brown a contract, maybe next year, but like he's not a guy that's going to wow me to the point where I want to pay him right now.
Yeah, I'd kind of be okay with the franchise tag myself. I like to see. I haven't gone quite over the offensive lineman for the draft yet, but so that's something I do want to explore before I make my full decision. Obviously, we only got till the 7th. It's the franchise tag deadline, so but I'd be okay with it just for the fact that he knows the offense. It's been around Patrick Mahomes. He knows the importance of it. He had a really great, solid Super Bowl performance there, which is what he really needed. But as far, I mean, 20 mil, just under 20 mil for the salary cap hit. I'd almost be okay since we have 12 draft picks to go out and try to make get a guy left tackle high, maybe
Well,
higher in the first round.
The Chiefs need depth anyway at tackle because
Correct.
obviously they need to have someone behind Brown that we can
So
rely
we also
on.
lost
Wiley
Andrew
too.
Wiley.
Wiley's
Wiley's technically a free agent right now.
For now, we'll see how that goes. But obviously not a guy you want to put a tag on or anything. But I could see Wiley coming back.
Yeah, I could see him come back, not for team friendly in a way. So
yeah,
on that,
I mean, he's quite a player that's improved over his years with the Chiefs because his first couple seasons in Kansas City were not good at all. And I remember when we re-signed him at one point, I was actually kind of pissed off. I'm like, the hell are we seeing this guy? Like, why are we bringing him back for one more year? And it's like, man, all of a sudden it's like that year something clicked for him and he just became a decent starter.
So you thought he sucked like Karlaftis.
Oh,
did you think of him in the same way that you thought of Karlaftis?
Wiley was worse.
Yeah,
Wiley was Karlaftis.
Well, Wiley was not a first round pick, so that's the difference on that. The expectations were never there, and he was never a good player.
But you thought he sucked
couple of years. No, the first 2 years, he absolutely did suck.
He did.
It was bad.
I was very surprised when he stepped in the right tackle spot and performed the way he did.
The last 2 years, he's been worthy of being a average right tackle, which is all we need.
That's why I compared him to George Karlaftis, because I think we all thought that Karlaftis sucked at the beginning of the year, and then all of a sudden he just kind of showed up.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how things go with him in the future, I guess, but he's got a lot to work on still.
All right, let's get back to the comments here. Could Tennessee? Scott wants to know if Tennessee could go after Aaron Rodgers since he loads very
Tennessee.
Do you think Tennessee and Aaron Rodgers?
Hell no. They're in a full rebuild. That's not going to happen. No, they're not going after Aaron Rodgers. Like Aaron Rodgers is either he's going back to the Packers, or he's going to the Raiders, or he's going to the Jets. Which I'm all in, as you guys know, on Aaron Rodgers going to the Raiders. But no, Titans are in a full rebuild, so that's not going to happen.
So Carlos out here says, I hope Giants tag Jones so that Jones and Double start their exit strategy back to Buffalo. And in fact, Danny Dimes gets 20 more mil. Giants keep going backwards and gets in the Tannehill situation. Tannehill the best contract for lack of output.
I do want to tag Jones actually, because I want to see a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it's like we all talk about how the running back position is worthless, but I would much rather pay Saquon Barkley than I would Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones has a little bit more to prove, and you can still pay him. You can still pay him next year, but I'm in the camp of let's just pay Saquon at this point. If it's kind of affordable, and then I want to tag Daniel Jones. And so this is kind of the biggest argument that I've heard today is who do you tag and who do you sign? And I'm in the camp of I want to see more from Daniel Jones, because is it Brian Daboll that's making him better? I just feel like Daniel Jones has a lot more to prove.
Now, they weren't the highest in offense production either, right? So Daniel Jones took on a franchise tag of just over 32 mil for the year, versus Saquon Barkley, you could tag him and get 10 mil out of that and have another year of that to see.
But the thing of it is they are all in on both of these guys. They want to keep both. And so that's why I'm saying
so you'd rather sign Saquon for 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
Than try to sign Jones.
If somebody wants to overpay for Saquon, that's fine. I'll let him go. But if you're dedicated to keeping both of these guys, I am not going to give Danny Dimes, a $40 million per year contract. I just want to see a little bit more from him.
What do you think, Mike?
Well, I'm okay with the idea of tagging Jones, just for the fact that you can do that, but you also need to draft someone immediately too in this draft, because you can't go into this going, oh, we still need to see more from him. And we go into next year and watch him perform, and he performed like he did 2 years ago. You can't run into that and then have nothing on the back burner to look towards the future with your team. You got to draft the quarterback high in this situation. And then if Jones does perform well, then great. You got yourself a situation where maybe you do want to pay him, but now you have this young quarterback that you took high that could be worth something to another team. But you got to kind of hedge your bets a little bit whenever it comes to handling Jones in that situation. Because personally, I think he way outperformed his abilities this past year. Personally,
Correct.
And I don't know if that he's going to be able to do that consistently from here going forward. Maybe he has one of those late bloomers that we see every once in a while in the league. Geno Smith was kind of a late bloomer. He obviously had his best year of his career by far with Seattle. I think that with Jones, it's okay to franchise tag him, but you got to have something else in the back burner that's prepared to step in, some young guy that you can rely on down the road, I'd say.
So I like the fact of tagging Saquon for another year, just to see if he can stay fully healthy for a year.
So you're going to use your tag on Saquon?
I'm going to use my tag on Saquon. Let Danny walk.
Okay, that's fair too. I don't have a problem with that.
So you have, the Giants have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 top 5 picks, top 5 round picks in the draft here this year. I'd say you go all out and go all in here. Go get Lamar. Go get Lamar. Sign and trade.
Shit.
Trade a first, third, and another first for future, and go get Lamar. Use your payroll to get somebody that's going to give you a top 10 offense, not a bottom 15. Just because you made the playoffs is great, but you weren't.
But they're not even in the running for Lamar.
They could be.
I don't think they're in the running for Lamar.
Well, who's in the running?
It surprised me.
Miami Dolphins.
Hey, Tanner's walking out, or to go get a beer. I don't know what he's doing.
Dude, like, why would you react like
Miami
that?
Dolphins?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
You are a Chiefs fan.
He wants to send him to Miami.
Why would you not want the AFC to be a stronger
That's
conference?
nothing about it. Why would Miami go after that kind of contract
Put
situation?
Lamar on Miami. You put Aaron Rodgers on the
Where
Raiders.
are they going to get the funds? They're already paying Hill. They got to pay Waddle. They got to pay the defense they just brought in.
It would be very expensive. I understand that. But why would you not? What did the LA Rams do? Just when they won the championship.
The problem is they don't have ammunition to be able to make a deal.
Did the Rams?
They don't have anything, man. I don't see how Miami works,
dude.
I think it's like a pipe dream for Jason at this point.
You have to go all in.
Like it's like
the bottom line is like
Miami, Tyreek Hill.
The bottom line is
sense.
if I could get Lamar on the Miami Dolphins and Aaron Rodgers on the Las Vegas Raiders, like,
is that like your
dude,
perfect?
I'd probably just quit the show because I'd be so happy. Like if that happened, because like we're Chiefs fans, right? So we want to see maximum competition in the AFC. And so I literally want to see all of the NFC quarterbacks like Rodgers, like Tom Brady's already gone.
So you just
I want to see all dog shit quarterbacks in the NFC so that
maximum
Patrick Mahomes had all the competition.
So here's the thing, though. This is why the Giants make sense to me. This is why Washington makes sense to me with the draft picks and the roster they have. If they go out and get Lamar doesn't have to go through Chiefs.
Well, fuck him.
Lamar
Put him on the
doesn't have
Jets.
to go through Bengals.
I'd rather see him on the Jets then. Put him on the Jets.
I'm just amazed.
Doesn't make sense.
I'm just amazed.
It does make sense.
The idea of Lamar leaving the Ravens doesn't make sense.
Do you not think that the Jets have a good roster right now? You don't think the Jets have a good roster?
Receivers, but I don't think Lamar should be in the AFC. If he's smart, like Russell Westbrook isn't, you go to where you can get into that Super Bowl.
Westbrook.
You know who I'm talking about.
Jesus.
Please tell me this is not a transition.
This isn't transition.
No.
God,
not yet.
gosh,
but
it's
Lamar
too early.
Jackson needs to go to the NFC. He needs to go to a team in the NFC.
Here's the deal. To me, like the whole thing doesn't make any sense because if you're the Ravens and you let Lamar go, you have literally nothing there in that position. You've built that entire team around Lamar Jackson when he does well. I mean, you could even go.
What, the defense?
No, offensively, you've built.
Who?
What do you mean who? The structure of the offense is built around
Bateman,
Lamar.
who sat out all season and part of the.
No, Tanner, I'm talking about the schematics of the way they run their offense is built around Lamar Jackson. and you remove him from that situation, you're not going to find a guy that can just walk right in and do what he does.
So you just brought in an offensive coordinator that had Stetson Bennett as that was his quarterback for the last 3 years, 4 years, whatever, how long he was there. You think he's going
12
to
years.
be able to transition? Georgia is going to be able to transition from who was Georgia's quarterback beforehand? AJ?
Oh shit, it's been forever. I don't know.
I know it's been like, yeah, it's been so long.
Go back
Like-
to Matt Stafford.
Like this Georgia offensive coordinator doesn't have the past of working with the type of quarterback that Lamar is.
That's fine. You still have Harbaugh though. You
I
still
wa-
have Harbaugh. That's what matters right now.
Harbaugh,
I
the end of
will
the day,
say
is
this.
fired
You're
after
going to
the
have to blow
season.
up that entire team if you let Lamar
Harbaugh's
go.
about to be fired after the season.
Well, of course you will. If you let Lamar go, of course you're going to get fired. I mean, you might
That's
as well.
what their
You
plan
might as well
is.
quit yourself at that
They're
point.
going to get ammo. They're going to reload in draft picks and get Lamar Jackson to another team
Why not keep Lamar?
because they don't want to pay him, or else they would have paid him by now.
That's why
Why
we're
do,
talking.
why do they keep
Isn't
it up?
that why we're talking about the franchise tag in the first place?
I will say this: Tanner is convincing.
Well, there you
me.
go.
Tanner's convinced me. I am starting to warm up to the idea of Lamar Jackson going to the Jets because Tanner gets his wishes and I get my wishes because Lamar is going to stay in the AFC. And so I'm starting to warm up to that idea because I would love to see Lamar on the Jets. I would love to see Aaron Rodgers on the Raiders.
And then what? Derek Carr gets to go fondle himself. Or
I
what?
would,
In
you
the
know what?
cold, in 40 degree
I want
weather.
to see. I want to see Derek Carr get what he deserves, which is to go to the NFC. Throw him in Carolina. Throw him, no, not Washington, because I want my boy EB. I want my boy EB to do something over there.
Hey, no, if
But-
you got look,
but-
Derek Carr would be an upgrade from what they've been working with lately.
Is
That's
it-
fine.
Derek Carr's upgrade of a lot of quarterbacks.
But throw his ass into the NFC. Like I want all of the shitty quarterbacks in the NFC, and I want all the good quarterbacks. It's about to happen, dude.
I understand what
It's
you're
about
saying,
to happen.
but it doesn't make sense to put him in the same conference. Like if you're going to trade Lamar Jackson, you're not trading him in the AFC. You're going to trade him in the NFC.
No, you're
where the
not.
draft picks are
But Tanner,
higher.
You're
if
going to
the
trade him
Ravens,
to
why
who
do you
has the
care?
most
No,
assets.
if you're the Ravens, why do you care? If you're blowing up your own franchise anyway, everyone's getting fired supposedly.
It's not
then
the
why would
same
you even
division.
care about what conference they're in?
It's a
that
different
Lamar
division,
goes to?
Tanner.
I
It's
guess
not
you
the
would,
AFC
yeah.
East.
So
It's
at that
not
point,
the AFC
at that point,
East.
you're going to go 3 and 14. So why do you even care if he's in the AFC?
No,
or
that's
not?
fair. I mean, it shouldn't really matter.
We
I guess,
dude,
in the
we
end,
just
but
figured it out.
I don't think the Jets is the answer.
We figured
I don't
it
think
out.
the Dolphins.
No,
are
I
the
don't
Yes,
think
answer.
you
they
figured out
are.
anything. I think to me, I still figured out that it's stupid to let
I'll
Lamar
tell you
Jackson
this. I tell you this. Lamar is going to the AFC East, no matter what. I don't care if it's the Dolphins or the Jets. He will go
go.
to
He
the
wants the
AFC
Dolphins
East.
pretty
Why
bad.
not the Bills?
And
Just send him
Aaron
to the
Rodgers.
Bills. Yeah, put him on with
Fuck the
Josh
Bills.
Allen can play with him.
Oh, really? Seriously?
Maybe we can have Lamar be his true
You
position
asshole.
as running back.
Hey, we're looking for a backup.
Come on.
Chiefs, so.
Look,
But Aaron
look-
Rodgers is going to the Raiders. I can tell you that right.
no,
fuck
the
now.
Bills need
That's
a
gonna
running
happen.
back. So I mean, get Lamar over there.
The Bills already have plenty of running backs. His name is Josh Allen.
I'm just saying,
That's their
let's
fucking
pair them up
running back.
together. Halfback toss all time.
Saquon wants north of 10 mil, and in today's paying running back that much money is never happens. It's true. Daniel Jones wants 45 mil, and there's no way that's going to happen.
No.
Atlanta, as Carlos just said, Atlanta looks like they're all in on Lamar.
That's fine.
I'd be upset if I was Lamar and that was the case.
I would be too.
You know what? If Derek Carr goes to Atlanta and then all these other fuckers go to the AFC,
There
I'd
you
be
go.
the happiest.
Zero
fucker on
chance.
earth.
We got to call Johnny Cruz up. on
Can we
this
just
one.
get
Well, I
Derek
don't-
Carr
we
to
don't
go
need
to
to call
Atlanta?
anybody. We
Yeah,
just
call
we
Johnny
just know
Cruz,
it's-
man.
Look, we just
Dolphins
know it's not
Nation.
going to happen.
I want shitball quarterbacks in the NFC. That's all I want. I want to see a world where Dak Prescott is the best fucking quarterback in the NFC. That dude, I that would be the happiest day in my life. I'm not bullshitting. If Dak Prescott was the best quarterback in the NFC, dude, my gosh, dude. Like as a Chiefs fan, I would love to see that, dude. And then Tom Brady, look at Tom Brady. He would be like, dude, what the hell am I doing here at Fox? I'm gonna come out of retirement and
Yeah.
go play for Carolina. Fuck him.
Play for any of them, you'll get to playoffs.
Yeah, Tom Brady would get to go to the Super Bowl for free.
I feel like you live in a Madden world where like all the settings are turned off. You
It's
can do
not.
whatever the hell you
Salary
want.
cap
There's no
off.
salary cap. Everything's
Salary cap
except trade.
Dude,
All trades
you
accepted.
just have to ask yourself the question: how many shitball quarterbacks are there in the NFC?
Look,
This is not
you can-
Madden.
you
This
can
is
make this
real.
happen.
This is real life.
You can make this happen on the video game. It's
No.
possible. You could do that.
Kirk Cousins, second best
Ooh,
quarterback.
Kirk
in
Cousins
his-
is the second best in the NFC.
That's what you just said.
Dude, Deshaun Watson is in the AFC. You know how shitty he people think he is.
Well, he wasn't great last year.
Well, he's taking up half the cap space this year. So
$55 million.
I mean, come on, dude.
Okay.
Like, how many shitty quarterbacks in the NFC? Like, that's what
We
it's
might-
about.
Here's the thing. You've been going on this rant about this. We still don't understand why.
I've been
Why do
going
you
on
want?
a rant.
Why do you want this so bad?
I told you that Aaron Rodgers was going to come to the
He-
AFC West last year. It
He
did
wa-
not happen.
he
Okay.
wants Patrick Mahomes to go against the best of the
Hey,
best.
That's
I
okay.
was
this
wrong,
Is unreasonable.
okay?
This is unreasonable.
This is the difference between JG and all these other fuckers out here. I will admit to you when I'm wrong. I wanted Deshaun Watson and Aaron Rodgers in the AFC
You want
West
Aaron
last year.
Rodgers on the Broncos.
It did not happen.
Mhm.
You know who we got?
Russell Wilson.
Captain Cringe, Russell Wilson. I do not want to see that shit, but if I could get Aaron Rodgers on the Raiders, then all of a sudden the AFC West is pretty fucking awesome.
I mean,
If
I
can
don't
get fucking-
know if your whole goal behind this is to make Patrick Mahomes go against the greatest gauntlet of quarterbacks ever, in the conference, and then win a Super Bowl just to prove that he's
The
the second best quarterback of all time, because he's not the best. Tom
Dude.
Brady's the best.
Not the best yet.
This is a rebuilding year for the Chiefs. What more could Patrick Mahomes want? He wants more competition. He doesn't want less. He doesn't want shitball quarterbacks like fucking Russell Wilson in the AFC West. No, he wants better competition so he can be battle tested, so he can fuck him in the ass next year.
I don't want to deal
Okay,
with this
Carlos
anymore.
Carlos
So,
says the
I don't
division
wanna
only
deal with
gets
this.
worse.
I don't want to deal with this anymore.
dude, he's got Russell Wilson in the AFC West.
Hey, he won a Super Bowl. What?
That's great.
Russell won
And
a
a
Super Bowl.
that was a rebuilding year for the Chiefs.
There you go. And Scott says that then you want to
Uh.
Super Mahomes to go against a shitty quarterback in
Yeah,
the Super Bowl.
then it's handed right to him.
What do you mean a shitty quarterback? You think Aaron
just
Rodgers
said-
is a shitty
You just said
quarterback?
the NFC is going to be full of
Jesus.
shitty quarterbacks. So you can get to the Super Bowl. You just beat all
I
the
don't
elite
give a
quarterbacks.
shit about. I care about the AFC. I want to be battle tested.
You know the
So
Chiefs still got to play like 6 games against the NFC, right?
Show's over.
Come on,
Good
dude.
night, Scott.
I'm telling you, if he's battle tested in the AFC, he's not going to give a shit who he played. You think he gave a shit when he went up against injured Jalen Hurts and his little dick shoulder that was injured?
What about
You
it?
think he gave a shit about that?
I gave a shit about
He
the
had
game.
a bum ankle.
Hey.
He couldn't even run.
I like
This
this
does not
question.
make- oh, look,
I like
my,
this
my
question
brain
here.
is
Dude.
turning to mush.
Don't.
Of
Listen
course
to
it
this.
We're,
is.
we're
Listen to this.
transitioning.
No, you're not.
Carlos
You're
has
not gonna
people
Oh,
day. Carr
shit.
is Carr better than Jimmy G?
Better
Would you
than Jim-
rather have
yes,
Carr or
yes.
Jimmy G?
Derek Carr is better than Jimmy G.
No,
Yes,
no.
absolutely.
Jimmy G is better.
No.
However, Jimmy G, the only reason I would give the edge to Derek Carr is because Jimmy G gets injured.
No doubt.
Jimmy G always has an injured dick. But in terms of what they produce on the field, if I could get Jimmy G for a
10
17
games?
game season, I will take Jimmy G. But that's the
When?
problem. You'll never get him
You'll
for
never get
17
it.
games.
If
So
you-
why you
if
gotta
you
go Derek
put-
So,
Carr?
no, I'll
Look,
give you Derek.
if
Yeah,
you-
I'd take
If
Derek
you put
Carr
Derek
on
Carr
that
and the
shit.
49ers with Kyle Shanahan in that offense,
Oh,
guess what? You got yourself a superstar quarterback.
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up. I'm going to give you guys a little I'm going to give you a lesson here. If you could take Jalen Hurts and put him on the Chicago Bears and take the other guy
Fields.
and put it in Justin Fields and put him on the fucking Eagles, what do you think would happen?
I think the Eagles would not make
exact
the
same
Super Bowl.
The exact
Eagles
same
would
fucking
not make
thing.
the Super Bowl.
Eagles would not make the Super Bowl.
You don't
No.
think?
No,
You like
Hurts?
Hurts better than
Yes.
absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I think the Bears are even with that roster the Bears had. I think they're borderline wild card team with Jalen Hurts.
So you think Hurts is better than Justin Fields?
He is.
It's
You
not
so
think,
you don't
it's-
think that roster was any good, huh? You thought
What
that
roster?
the Eagles. You thought
It's a,
you
good,
think
it's
it
a
was
really good
good.
roster.
you think Jalen Hurts like took
But-
them to the
No,
Super Bowl?
the
with,
right
like-
team in the NFC made the Super Bowl.
Okay. So then you look over on the Chargers side. Justin Herbert is considered to be the elite. And yet he has Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. He can't lead that team to a playoff win.
Keenan Allen, like that guy's retired, man. He's not even going to play next year.
He's
I've lost all
No, he's going to the
train of
Chiefs.
thought with this one.
Can I have what you're having?
I
I'm
don't, I
telling
don't
you,
know
dude.
what have happened right now.
I'm just telling you
this,
the whole
this is
point.
mind-blowing.
I'm telling
This
you the
whole
whole
topic is ridiculous.
all of you guys listening out there.
Too full. What's up, dude?
I will tell you what you guys want right now. You want all of the elite quarterbacks to go to the AFC and all of the dog shit quarterbacks to be the NFC. Like, dude, you guys have no idea. If that happens, like Tom Brady's already retired. If we can get Aaron Rodgers in the AFC, dude, That's
Okay,
game over,
Tater,
dude.
Okay, hang on.
Like, this will be the
Tater, you're
most
the
epic-
moderator today. You got to do this.
This is
I'm
such
let-
a
I'm let-
bad
I'm
day for
letting
me
you-
to take.
I'm
this.
letting you
Dude.
run this shit.
Okay,
So
JG, hang on. Where are you trading Mac Jones to?
Mac Jones.
Is Mac Jones staying a Patriot?
I want him in the NFC. I don't trust him. He's on the Falcons.
So who are you bringing?
Send him to the Falcons.
So who are you bringing over?
Ooh,
Who's
that's a
taking the
good
Patriot
question.
spot? Are you doing Bailey Zappi?
Ooh, I love that question right there. I want Derek Carr to be the shittiest quarterback in the AFC and go to the Patriots. Because I want Mac Jones to get the fuck out of there. If you had Derek Carr as the shittiest quarterback in the AFC, like I like Derek Carr. Like I actually think he's pretty good. But if he was, dude,
did you get an extra whiskey when we were at the bar earlier? What the hell is going on?
dude, you guys all know, like, you want to see this shit. You want to see the AFC just fucking front loaded and destroy the NFC.
I'd
you
accept
you wanna
it,
see
but I don't want to see it.
Who's the best quarterback in the NFC right now? Matt Stafford?
Aaron Rodgers.
I'll take that.
He's still
Look,
the
there's-
best quarterback.
No,
You can make an
Aaron
argument
Rodgers
for
is
a couple
gone.
of-
Jalen Hurts.
No,
could
no,
be
no, no,
better
no,
than
no,
that.
no.
Hurts is on the list.
Just let's take this into account. Let's assume that Aaron Rodgers is gone
So Jalen
to the
Hurts moves in.
AFC. Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFC. Who's the second best?
You got a tie.
Matthew Stafford?
No, you have a tie between Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I think I'd probably agree with that.
Matthew, yeah.
Matthew
because
Stafford's third or
he's
fourth
done.
on the list.
He's going to
Stafford's-
retire, dude.
Stafford's slowly going down the list.
He's
But
going to
don't
retire.
forget about Jared Goff over there on the NFC side.
Yeah, I agree
If
with
he has
I agree
another-
with Scott too. This is Hurts being the best in the NFC. And we saw his performance in the Super Bowl was spectacular. I mean, 3 rushing touchdowns, I think 2 passing. The guy played terrifically.
Now, think about this. What if we have this scenario and Deshaun Watson is not quite as bad as you thought he was? Maybe he's still an elite quarterback.
So he's in the
would
Well,
that
there's
not
a chance for that.
would that
agree
not
with
give you a hard on if
It-
Deshaun Watson becomes elite again?
But
It would be cool. I would like to see him played for the sake of the
I
sport.
think he will. I'm not worried about.
I think he was rusty last year, obviously, and took him time and that offense, just trying to get used to the new players around him and all that. I could see him making a step forward again this next year.
I'm going to make this last point. Like, this is going to be like back in the old days where you had the AFL and the NFL. And I feel like nobody respected, the other, back in the day, they never respected like the AFL.
Right? They didn't take the AFL seriously.
They didn't take it seriously. And that we're going to get back to that. If all of the elite quarterbacks are in the AFC,
hmm
then the NFC is just going to be a shitball
So
conference and
you're
nobody's going to take them seriously.
Comparing the NFC to what would be the AFL at the time.
Yes, exactly.
The AFL actually ended up coming out and surprising a lot of teams.
Yeah.
That's fine. I just want to see them get destroyed. I want to see the NFC get destroyed. I want to see Jalen Hurts be like an elite quarterback, the only elite quarterback in the NFC, and I want to see Dak Prescott be the only other quarterback be worth a shit in the NFC.
a
I
guy
think
we
it'd be
forgot about,
hilarious.
Scott mentions here is Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, when he's healthy, he could be
He's short.
dangerous.
Yeah,
He's short.
I-
He's a short quarterback.
Murray
How
has
tall
a lot
is he?
to prove. He's
Is he 5'9"
Five.
yet, or is he still growing?
don't
Yeah,
know
I think
about
he
him.
grew
He's-
last year, didn't he?
he's
Did he
a
get
little-
an
he's a
inch
little
and a
baby
half
boy.
after last year?
He's a little baby boy.
No, don't call him a boy. Come on, don't use that word on this fucking show. We don't do that around here. I'm just telling you, he's short.
so
Don't use that word.
So
Gosh,
Tufel over
damn it.
here says apparently these guys
Oh
have
my
never heard
God.
of Sam Darnold of the Panthers. Clearly the best
Jesus
NFC
Christ.
quarterback.
Darnold. Wow.
You got it, Tufel.
Oh my god.
Well, the
Um,
Jets ruined his ass. He actually wasn't that bad.
Scott, I'm not asking.
He
that
wasn't
question
that bad. Hey,
at all.
Sam Darnold wasn't that bad in much the same way that Geno Smith was not that bad.
Yeah, I mean,
What
here
did they
it goes.
both have in common? They both got ruined by the fucking Jets.
That's true.
You know what?
All right.
They did.
You
They
you
did.
have no measuring stick to prove that they were that bad coming out of college.
I can't believe I'm going to ask you this.
You should ask me this.
I'm glad I'm not running this shit today.
That's why you bring in
Scott.
Lamar Jackson. You know why?
Scott,
They cannot. The Jets will never
okay,
ruin Lamar
I ain't worried about
Jackson.
Lamar.
That will never happen.
it will. Scott
No,
says,
it won't.
where do you rank Joe Burrow in the AFC?
Fuck.
I told you don't ask him this.
Seriously, this is consensus, man. He's number 2. He's right behind Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, so one,
There's no because, dude, he has a winning record. against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So I don't care about the NFL quarterback scene. I don't care about the AFC quarterback scene. When you have a winning record against Patrick Mahomes, you are the second best quarterback in the AFC. Like there's not a whole lot of argument there. And like I have nothing against Joe Burrow. Like I think he's a good quarterback and he's a great quarterback. But when you're doing your ranking system, you're going to put Joe Burrow number 2. Like there's no argument. I don't even know why we would even have that discussion. I have a number 2 because Josh Allen, I understand, right? He's a great rusher. He's the entire running game of the Buffalo Bills, but he turns the ball over like a motherfucker. And that's something that Joe Burrow doesn't do. I trust Joe Burrow in a late game situation, in a 2-minute drill or what have you. I trust Joe Burrow with the ball. I do not trust Josh Allen. So that's why I would put Joe Burrow number 2 in the AFC, no doubt, behind Patrick Mahomes.
See, I'd be really curious to see how it looked with Josh Allen throwing to guys like T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. Obviously, he has Stephon Diggs, but we're going to see potentially if Diggs was to leave Buffalo, we could see what Allen really looks like without a whole lot around him. But I think if you gave Josh Allen those 2 receivers, which in my opinion, they're both in the top 15 of all receivers in the league, I think Allen looks much better than what the credit he's been given so far.
Let me ask you this real quick, because last couple of days, a lot of people have been talking shit on Lamar Jackson. What do you think Lamar Jackson would do with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase? Do you think he would be better than Joe Burrow? Do you think he'd be worse, or do you think they'd be about the same?
We're talking about as a passer, obviously. I mean, he's not going to be better than Joe Burrow, in my opinion. I think that Burrow has quite a factor of accuracy that maybe only Mahomes in the league can really compare against.
I'm just saying that Lamar Jackson has not had a lot of weapons to work with. And so a lot of people are talking shit on him in the last couple of days because they don't think he's going to get a contract. They think he's going to get tagged or what have you. Do you guys think that Lamar Jackson deserves that contract based on the weapons that he has had to throw to past few years? Because, yeah, I understand Mark Andrews. He's a good tight end. He's not Travis Kelce, but he's decent. But I just don't think that he's had a lot of weapons to throw to. Meanwhile, you compare him to a guy like Joe Burrow. I mean, Joe Burrow's got fucking T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. I mean, how do you compare those two guys?
Well, you're not going to be paying Lamar Jackson for his passing ability necessarily.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's because he's a
weapon.
1,000-yard rusher. And the way you can use him offensively in that regard, obviously, is something Joe Burrow could never do in his lifetime.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's just a big difference of those kind of players.
It is a big difference, and I agree with you. I would love to see Lamar Jackson on that fucking offense with the Cincinnati Bengals, because I think he would fuck that shit up.
Hey, Madden will let you do that.
If you put
him
him
on franchise mode.
It's all about Madden, dude.
No salary cap.
No salary cap.
So if you input him into that Bengals roster in the Super Bowl game they had last year, they win the Super Bowl.
I know they would
easily.
That's the whole reason
far.
I brought this shit
By
up.
far.
And so that's what I'm saying. I don't understand why people are saying Lamar Jackson does not deserve to make as much money as Deshaun Watson.
It's because
that's the argument that I don't understand.
It's because you got guys like Mahomes, though, that have taken nothing in wide receiving ranks and made it something. Aaron Rodgers.
We are not comparing, but that's my whole point.
But if you're comparing elite quarterbacks, you got to look at that factor.
We are not.
How do other quarterbacks that pay in that range look in that range?
Here's the thing. We do not compare any. I'm telling you right now. When you're comparing a quarterback to anybody else in this league,
Aaron Rodgers,
we do not
Tom
put
Brady.
Patrick Mahomes on the table. I'm talking about Lamar Jackson versus a guy like Joe Burrow. And what are these? How do these guys compare to each other? Because Patrick Mahomes is not on the table, okay? He's on a different playing field.
All right. Speaking of which, Ilunian, thank you for commenting in. Appreciate you. Does Patrick Mahomes have a chance to surpass the GOAT? Yes or no?
A chance? Yes.
A chance.
Of course.
You're going to give him a chance.
Of course he does. Of course there's a chance. So, I mean, at this point in his career, if you compare things side by side from where they were at the same age at that point in time in their careers, 100% he has a chance. Will it happen? It's going to be hard. Won't be easy.
Hard.
But it's absolutely, there's a possibility for it.
Here's the thing, guys. So he's got to have
5 receivers.
What I want to see with Mahomes is, does he have a winning record in Super Bowls? It's very simple. Do you have a winning record in the Super Bowl, a la Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, or do you have a
Just
losing?
Just our weekly bash of LeBron
Do
James
you?
coming into
No, no,
play.
no, no. I never said it. You said it. Or do you have a losing record, like a
Look at
player,
big defenses.
a
Like-
player
It's
that
not
used
like
to
the
play
highest-
for the?
The highest point scorer of all time in NBA, right?
Do you have a
Like that guy.
losing record like the player that was formerly of the Cavs that eventually went back to the Cavs and then left the Cavs again? That's my whole point.
That's for
You
Tanner to
must-
answer.
You must have a winning record like Kobe Bryant, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like Magic Johnson, like Bill Russell. I can go on and on and on. If Patrick Mahomes ends up his career with a winning record in championship games, then he's only got to get to 4, dude. If he
Did-
gets to 4 rings,
Super
This-
Bowls
this-
or
this-
championship games?
this-
over,
Super Bowls or championship games?
over.
So I don't know if you guys have paid attention to Coach Jason Brown lately on Twitter. He's been
Oh,
out there
Coach JB.
running his mouth off, being a dumbass. That guy can eat shit. But one of his excuses for one of his reasons for being an anti-Mahomes guy is that he's never faced the adversity of having to win a road playoff game.
Like it's a bad thing.
wow. You mean to tell me Mahomes has done so damn good that he's
Just
put
never
his
had to
team in
play on the road?
position to never have to play on the road in the first place? And you're actually going to use that as a talking point to bring him down? Like, you're just a freaking moron. I mean, I
Here's
would
the thing.
have wanted to throw that out there.
I will throw this out there when in terms of like how many championships did you win on the road or how many playoff games did you win on the road? Guys, it doesn't matter because when we're looking at these stats that we all like to talk about, when we talk about championships, stats, what have you, when we are looking at these stats and these championships 15 to 20 years from now, nobody's going to give a shit. When all we're going to look at is what is your record in the finals? What is your record in the Super Bowl?
What does Mahomes have to be?
They
to
don't
beat
care.
Brady. What's Mahomes' record have to be to beat Brady?
If he gets 4 rings and only loses 2, he's the GOAT.
So Brady's 7-3 in Super Bowl, or no, not 7-3.
In Super Bowl, he's
Yeah,
7-3.
7-3. Yeah, that's right.
7-3.
Been to 10.
So you're telling me he only
1-7.
needs to win 4?
He can win 4 and lose 2. He will be the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
I can't
That makes
get
zero
down with that.
sense.
I can't get down. I agree with Scott. I think 5 is the bare minimum of where he
Has
needs
to
to
be in
be
the
at to be
conversation.
in the conversation of being better than Brady.
He can do it.
I will say this: Brady, especially early on in his career, was helped majorly by that defense. The Patriots defense historically with Bill Belichick has been freaking amazing. And they
Tremendous.
know how to step up, when it's time to step up, when to make a difference. Mahomes, so far in his Chiefs career, has had a average to slightly above average defense so far to this point. So I just think that it's one of those things that if Mahomes was somehow able to have what Brady had back then with those defenses, that I mean, I don't know how you lose with that guy at that point. So that's why I think 5 is the point you can start talking about it, because you got to look at the big picture of what Mahomes has had to deal with to get to that point compared to, Brady early on, who was literally just a really, really good game manager in his 20s. Whereas Mahomes is literally being the one that they put all the weight on your shoulders to get the job done. And if you don't come out there and work your ass off, you're not going to win the game. That's what makes Mahomes special, is that he is winning the games on his own. You give up 35 points, you're probably going to lose. Well, not if you're Patrick Mahomes. If you're Tom Brady in that situation, you don't beat the Eagles.
He is.
I'll give you 5 and 3. If he can go 5 and 3 or 5 and 2, that's good enough.
Well, how about 5 and 1?
I will tell you this: like, there are those people out there that do not give Tom Brady credit for any of the first 3. Okay, they think that he did not do shit, and I'm not going to throw any names out there, ESPN, but like there are people that think that Tom Brady didn't do shit in the first 3, and so my point would be if
What does it matter?
if Patrick Mahomes
won.
wins 5, dude, I might even say 5 and 4. That's a wrap. Like, because only because of his stats.
Well, why do you need not to go to the Super Bowl 9 times? What if he just goes to 6 and wins 5? Does that still make it arguable? Or does
5 and 1?
Yeah. What does that
No,
mean?
there's no argument at that point. 5 and 1, 5 and 2. There's
But that
no
also
argument.
means he didn't make it as often as Brady.
I mean, that's fine. I'm just telling you, like those first 3 that Brady had, those were considered to be defensive
They were.
championships.
And Vinatieri was the one making the kick at the end on all those. So
Yeah.
that's why it was looked at that way. But Brady, like I said, in his 20s, was the best game manager in all of football at that time. He was the
Yeah.
most efficient
It was
game
great,
manager in
man.
all of football at that time. It wasn't until he got into like his 30s and obviously 40s where it's like he was literally the one making the plays. He was
Yeah.
the reason why they were winning the games. Where before, like I think the defenses the Patriots had in 2000s were just incredible, and you had Hall of Famers all over the freaking place on those defenses, and that's what got them to that point each season.
I'm just saying, like, it's not a situation where you have to get to 7 like Tom Brady. It's not like I think of it differently when we're talking about like LeBron James.
Agreed.
LeBron James has a losing record in the finals. He's only won the championship 4 times. If Patrick Mahomes wins 5 championships, a la Kobe Bryant, and has a winning record in the Super Bowl, he's going to be the GOAT.
So it doesn't
There's
matter.
no doubt.
So 7-3 is worse than 5-1.
7-3, or is he 7-4?
He's 7-3.
7-3.
7-3 is worse than 5-1.
We're going to be playing 17 games every single year, not 16. So those stats are going to be pumped up. Those stats are going to be pumped up your
It
ass.
doesn't matter.
What is that?
So,
what are you talking
You're
about?
telling me if a guy walks away with the ring, that's all that matters.
And we're not talking about regular season.
When a guy walks away with the ring,
The regular season matters.
Regular
because
season
he's
don't
gonna
matter
have
to you.
better stats.
it's all about rings. We've already talked about this many times. Or else LeBron James would be number 1 on your list if regular
Okay.
season matter.
No, I see where
Okay.
we're going with this bullshit.
So
Yeah.
this
Good
is
one,
where it
buddy.
is.
Look at that Tanner coming
Can't
out.
play the trap. You would be a good poker player because you
telling
would
you right
trap my
now.
ass. Wouldn't you,
Well,
with the pocket?
Tanner was
You would
making us-
trap me
I
with the
agree
pocket
I
kings
agree
and all
with
that
Tanner's
bullshit.
points right there.
Okay.
All right. Anyways,
No, I'm going with
yes.
5-3. That's the bottom line.
so
dude.
real quick,
He's the
Mike, can you
GOAT.
help Twofold out here? I can't remember the guy's name
What?
either. Twofold
The
says,
kicker-
remember that kicker the Chiefs signed a few years ago because he did neat field goal kicks
Neat
and
kicks.
shit on YouTube, but proved to be
Oh.
worthless for actually playing the game as a kicker? Meet Lamar being a QB.
Yeah, I remember this guy. Actually, I'm sure
uh,
it was a kicker or was it a quarterback?
I think it was wasn't it like a Canadian guy?
Yeah, it
The
was
frisbee guy, right?
yeah, it was something like that. But I thought was he a quarterback?
I think it was a quarterback.
He's saying kicker, but I remember a certain quarterback that was famous on YouTube for doing a bunch of trick throws and stuff like that. That's what I remember. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head, but I think it was a quarterback. I could be wrong, but if you find that guy, let me know, Tanner, because I believe he did play
Chick
in
shot quarterback, Alex Tanney.
Alex Tanney. That's who you get. That's who you're thinking of. Twofold was Alex Tanney.
All right, let's see it. Oh, I'm not getting into this, Scott. I don't
You
want to get into
should.
that.
You want to get
I don't want to
into that.
rank
You
you
know
where
you
you at
do.
Marino. All right, let's keep. I got
Dan Marino.
all right, look.
You want to talk about Dan
No,
Marino?
we're not talking
We're not talking
all
about Dan Marino.
Shit.
Real quick, let's wrap up this franchise tag here before I get back to the comments. By the way, thank you for commenting. It is huge. We love it all, even besides JG's crazy take
Yeah,
sometimes.
Dan Marino is top
appreciate it.
5, dude.
Sometimes we
Dan
need
Marino's a top
not
5
talking about
quarterback
it.
of
We
all
need
time. Yes, we
commenters.
are.
to help JG get put in his place.
I don't
every
need your
once in a
help.
while.
I
All
do
right.
not need your help. Dan
So-
Marino is in the top 5.
I had
Did you see what Twiffle said? He said, no, he said, take away his girly balls of wine coolers. He's obviously had enough. He's talking about you. And I'm
Thank
over here
you.
drinking the Mike's Hard Lemonade.
I appreciate that. I'm just telling you that Dan
too funny.
Marino in the era that he played in, was just run the ball all fucking day. Run the ball. Like put up amazing stats, dude.
All right, I need one more tag here. Just one more tag thought before we move on. Okay. Who should Dallas tag here? And it should be an obvious choice, but it may not. Dalton Schultz at just over 13 mil,
No.
or Tony Pollard at 10 mil.
Neither one.
No,
Either
they're
one?
Don't
they're
tag
both
either one of those
shitballs.
guys. Don't tag either freaking one of
They're
those guys.
both shitballs.
Well, I'm not going to go that far, but they're
You have
They're
an
not
average
worthy.
tight end. So Dalton Schultz is an average
Yeah.
tight end. Then you got Tony Pollard
you
who can't
have-
get on the fucking field.
well, you have a running back.
Was
You have a running back. And yes, we know
A running back,
look,
no less.
Tony Pollard has outperformed Elliott over the past
By
couple of
far.
years, right? That's fine. But you know what? You
That's
could
great.
go get a running back apparently in the 7th round now these days and plug him in and average 5 yards a carry.
The last time I checked, you could get a running back in the 7th round. Good
Just-
point.
And
Just
average 5
stay-
yards a carry.
Jason, just so you
appreciate
know,
that.
So I'm not
Pollard-
tagging any of them.
Pollard played in 16 games
Right.
in 20, 15 games in 21, and 16 games in 22.
That's great.
Okay, so he's there. He's on the
The
field.
numbers are going down.
So you're looking at possibly Zeke leaving, possibly being cut here shortly.
They're not going to cut.
There's a
Zeke,
very good
dude.
chance of it.
No,
There's a lot of
he's
rumors
not
going
gonna
on
cut
for it.
dude.
I wouldn't care if either one of them walked away. I have the NFL draft in my hands right here in Kansas City. Go get yourself a running back.
So
Jerry,
I wish
dude.
like people would understand that it's pretty simple. Like running backs, I feel bad for them. These guys go out there and get pounded. Some of these guys carry the ball 300 times a season and get destroyed. Their
Dude.
bodies are worn down. But we ain't paying your ass.
If
We
it
ain't
was
paying your ass.
If it was any other team, I agree with you. Zeke is getting cut. But you know what? Guess what? The last time I checked is the Dallas Cowboys. And they are loyal to that fucker. And they are not going to cut his ass
They're gonna
because
cut him.
Jerry loves his ass.
if Tony Pollard was prime Adrian Peterson, I say hell yeah, go for it. Adrian Peterson's one of the best running backs of all time and worthy of
Jerry's going to keep his ass.
worthy of
dude.
getting a franchise tag. Tony Pollard, I don't give a goddamn about keeping Tony Pollard around
Nobody gives
or
a
Zeke
fuck.
for that matter. Just get a
They're
running
not
back in
going
the
to win
draft.
anything. They're not going to win anything
Okay.
with those assholes.
All right, that's gonna do it for the tag segment. Now I had more, but that's all we can get to. After that. That was a blast, actually. You know what? Let's see.
That was
here.
50 minutes of bullshit.
That
That's
was-
what it was.
That was legit. All right, guys, let's do it. Let's do a couple quick topics here. We won't take too long on this here. Let's do a quick topic here. So the NBA All-Star game just happened. The NBA All-Star weekend just got happened. NBA starts back up tomorrow for games. But I want to know for you guys, and JG, you and I discussed a little bit on Saturday in the hoop. But what could be done different in these All-Star games, such as the NFL and the NHL? Is there something different, something they could do differently? And you could even classify the NHL in this because we talked about this on Monday night a couple weeks ago too with Buffoon and Botkins. So what's your thoughts here, Mike? I'll let you kick it off.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about Scott's comment about Derek Carr. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
My brain was in a
So-
different section.
I do want to hear a little bit later. I want to hear Mike's
Thanks,
take on
Hurricane, for
this.
commenting.
But
Yeah, try again.
I want to hear Mike's take on this, but the bottom line is that the NBA All-Star Weekend sucked ass. Like it was pathetic.
Okay.
Except for a guy,
I wasn't listening.
a guy by the name of Mac McClung, who stole the
Love the
show,
guy.
formerly of Texas Tech, stole the show in the slam dunk contest.
That's your school, Mike.
And I hope this guy gets a
Texas
job in the NBA.
Just
Like,
ruined it.
I know he's only a 6'2" white guy, what have you. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, he can't play. But the dude put on a show.
He did.
And I think he's gained a lot of respect after that showing around the NBA. And so I hope this guy can get a job in the NBA because he rescued the entire weekend.
Well,
That
he's with the
weekend
76ers,
sucked.
right?
Yeah, but he doesn't get any playing time. I want this guy to get significant playing
So
time.
go to the Lakers. They're hiring.
Whatever. I'm telling you, like, he rescued the weekend because that weekend fucking sucked. And I didn't even watch it until I watched the slam dunk contest, and that rescued the whole fucking thing. But Mac
It was good.
McClung should get a deal in the NBA because the guy's got handles. He displayed the handles, and obviously he almost touched his head on the fucking rim. So the guy can play, and so shout out to Mac McClung for rescuing NBA All-Star Weekend. But in terms of suggestions, I feel like this is like a flashback for me to the Pro Bowl. Like, what did we do with the Pro Bowl? We had like a skills challenge or
Skills
something like that.
challenge now.
I feel like, why do I even know that that's called the skills challenge? Because that weekend sucked so bad is like we had to come up with a new name called skills challenge because nobody's going to fucking watch the Pro Bowl. And so I feel like NBA is a little bit different than the NFL, but I feel like there are some better ideas that we could come up with. I think, Tanner, you and I threw out the ideas of like fucking dodgeball and maybe like pickleball.
There's some great comments in there.
you know,
poker, or was it poker? Right? Was it really?
Well,
good
I
one
want
at
to
the
save
end?
that for later until Mike goes
I'm
out
not
with his
gonna lie.
comment.
I
but
don't want to sit there and watch NBA players play poker. You know how stupid that sounds to me? Like, as just a random ass, average ass NBA
But,
fan.
like,
Did you
but, like,
watch? Hey,
But like they're all
before
mutts.
before you say how stupid that sounds, did you watch that fucking All-Star game?
No,
It was worse.
I didn't.
Do you know what the
Whatever
over-under
you
was?
I didn't
have,
watch it.
whatever
like
you have in your
4:30.
mind, dude.
Over under was like 430 for the All-Star
Are
game.
you serious?
It's in the fours.
Whatever
Why?
you
They don't play defense.
They're just like, oh, I'll just get the ball and shoot it.
shoot at half court.
whatever
Go dunk
you
it.
whatever you have in your mind as far as how shitty the All-Star game could be or how shitty the Pro Bowl could be,
I hate the
it
Pro
was
Bowl.
worse. Like, just I know you sound
Okay.
like you don't like my playing poker and Texas Hold'em idea.
No, I'm just like
It's
over-
worse than
look,
that. It was
We're
worse than
trying
that.
to
It was
think of
shitty.
better ideas to make it better, right? Like to me, it's like have some kind of incentive to make the NBA players want to perform in this game because obviously they're going out there goofing off, doesn't really give a shit. And why not give them a reason to find some way to make the game worth something? Because to me, it sounds like they just are out there goofing around, and it's not like it's as physical of a sport as NFL.
I've got a great idea,
You know,
but I want you to go
Get
first.
them to have a reason to go out there and actually
Give
put
me a
some
reason,
energy
Mike.
into it.
Give me a fucking reason right now.
I need
'cause
an I need an incentive.
So you're
I don't know what that would be. I need an incentive.
So
I don't know what it is though.
Mike, hang on. So you're talking about like actually going out and playing hard on All-Star Weekend, right?
I'm saying give them a reason to play hard rather than
Okay.
jack around.
So isn't being named an All-Star in a reward for the players?
It's supposed to be.
Okay, so why not ask the players what they want to do? Maybe they don't want to do shit.
They
It's
want
just
to
an
play.
award.
They
there's
wanna
an
play
award.
Texas
At
Hold'em,
some
dude.
point, the money has to come into play, though.
Okay,
They might not want to do shit, but the NBA looks at this as
A moneymaker.
some kind of a moneymaker of some way.
so
So
but
they
why
have
do we
to have
why
something.
do we care if they're just playing around? If it's a reward for the players, it shouldn't
Yes.
matter how the players treat it.
They want to
Well,
play
it's the
Texas
same-
Hold'em.
it's
Is- you're
so it's the
talking
same
about
thing
from
as
a
the
viewership.
Pro Bowl,
You're
though.
talking about from the viewership.
So the reason viewership for the Pro Bowl was in the shitter is because the players literally just did not give a goddamn at all.
Because it was
turned
a
into
reward for the
worse than
players. They
flag
just
football.
wanted to have fun out
Yes,
there.
exactly. But the viewership, TV wise, and for money, as far as
So,
on the big picture,
If you're the NFL,
down.
you need to put incentive if you want money.
if
the
I need it to
viewership.
matter, the MLB All Star Game actually has an impact
Correct.
on what happens in the sport. It
Correct.
actually matters. It actually makes these guys go out there, and the pitchers aren't going out there. Here's a softball for you, and just throwing it down. And he's actually trying to strike the guy out.
Because the winner of the division
it-
gets the home field advantage.
It
in the World
matters.
Series.
So that's why of all the things MLB fucks up, at least they get their
They
All Star
fucked
game
it
right.
up.
They do got it
They
right.
fucked it
They
up
got
so
they got
bad,
the All Star
dude.
game right.
I'm
So the
just
NBA
stating-
needs to do something similar. In football, I understand. In football, I understand. These guys don't want to get injured.
They're physical.
It's a physical sport. No one's out there going Sean Taylor destroying punters over here
Derek
anymore.
Johnson
You know what I mean?
hitting in an All-Star. game.
Right. I remember. You remember when Brandon Flowers like spine buster Jamal Charles on a
Yeah.
Oh
touchdown?
gosh,
Like that's the stuff that when you see that as a fan,
yeah. Tanner got
You're-
a hard
you're
on
over there,
for that shit.
Tanner's clenching his butthole thinking about it. And so I mean, it's one of those things you don't really want to see the big hits, but you still want it to be an entertaining game.
Yeah.
So I am glad they eliminated the Pro Bowl because it was stupid anyway.
It was
You
stupid.
had a
as
bunch
fuck.
of guys out there half-assing it and not trying to get injured, and making a skills challenge was great. Now an NBA skills challenge makes no sense to me. We already have the slam
Doesn't
dunk.
make any
We already
fucking
have the slam
sense.
dunk contest. What else do you want them to do?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
Three-point contest. We got that.
We already have all this stuff. So the game itself needs to have a reason that makes it important.
I have the
All right,
cure.
hold on. Before you go,
I have the cure
Scott-
to the problem here.
Scott says, first off, put some respect on Jason Tatum. He says also it's cornhole tournament.
Well, Jason Tatum's going to win the fucking championship this year.
All-Star game should be against Olympic gold winners. Of the
I don't need to
sport.
give Jason
do
Tatum
have a
any
roo-
respect.
they do
He's
have a
gonna win the
rookies
damn
game.
championship.
Half those guys tried blah blah blah. Winning team gets player the extra 1 to 10 million per player.
Yeah.
Money. Jeopardy contest between guys. That should be kind of funny.
And they
So
do have a rookies game, by the way.
And Mr. AC, NBA has a rookies game. NFL does not.
No, the NFL doesn't do that.
But
And they
NBA
never
does.
will.
Thanks for commenting, Mr. AC. Cornhole tournament sounds like something you play in prison.
Yeah. Sounds
All right,
like a lot of
JG.
fun.
What's your solution here?
I have the solution. Okay. You guys aren't going to be ready for this, but I want
Never
you to,
ready.
I want you to open your mind a little bit because we all know that the NBA All-Star game and the Pro Bowl in the NFL, they're both equally fucking disasters. So my solution to cure both of these problems is that you combine the NFL and the NBA All-Star games. You will do something very similar to the NBA All-Star game when, LeBron James and Giannis, they drafted their fucking teams, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to combine the NBA and the NFL. The people who draft the teams are Robert Kraft and Deshaun Watson. They will draft as many chicks as they want to draft, who are very good at massaging, by the way. Okay. So they're going to draft all these chicks that want to do massages, and the best team wins, right? I don't need to say anything else after that. May the best team win, because they're going to be drafting all these professional women that like to do massages. Now, Deshaun Watson and Robert Kraft are very experienced in that line of work. So they're going to draft only the best people for the job. And so if you could combine that into a Pro Bowl / NBA All-Star game, I think that would be the best for both of those sports, because you know what? Let them have it, baby. Let them have it, baby.
So wait a minute. Are we watching players play, or are we watching massage therapist?
Dude, I just told you.
You're drafting massage therapist?
Carlos just says it sounds like an FBI
Dude,
sting.
I told you guys.
Ooh, I do like Donald Trump as a referee, though. That sounds pretty good. Trump could be the referee of the game.
Come on. We don't say that word on this show. Don't ever say Trump. Don't ever say Trump.
Well, Biden could be the scorekeeper.
Biden? Wow. Okay.
Scores draft elephant.
Shit. So the bottom line is, I told you guys that if we just did a Texas Hold'em tournament,
The Me Too movement in play.
if you would just please listen to me for once. If you would just do a Texas Hold'em tournament in the NBA or the NFL, that is the perfect answer. But if you can't do that, or if you can't get over yourselves, then I would bring in a massage competition.
I like
for
Tufels here.
Robert Kraft versus Deshaun Watson. That's how you cure the
I like
situation.
Tufel here. Combined NBA and NHL All-Star game. Same arena anyway. Dunk contest on skates. Fastest 3-point shooting. Best hip check. Combination of both all sports. I like that.
Combine all of them right there.
By the way,
All-Stars
Robert
play COD.
By the way, that's how Deshaun
Kyler Murray
Watson
wins again.
You guys know this, right? That's how Deshaun Watson got that big dick contract, because, well, we can't fire Robert Kraft, so we got to pay Deshaun Watson a bunch of money
Scott's
because
got
he did the same fucking thing.
Scott's got another ref for you, since you don't like Trump there for it. There's wait, you could have Ime Udoka as a referee.
Yeah, Ime Udoka is doing a few different things over there. He's not getting a massage. He's going full force. Like,
right.
he's,
Now, we
just
already
doing,
have-
what,
so-
he's doing what needs to be done.
Mr. AC over here is saying have him play video games, basically NBA 2K, whatever.
Kyler Murray wins again.
That's
Kyler
so
Murray
fucking
wins
boring, dude.
Well,
That's so fucking boring. Let him play Texas Hold'em.
They kind of already do that on ESPN, I think, sometimes.
They do, on
Every
Madden.
once in a while,
Play
but-
Texas Hold'em while maybe you could do Texas Hold'em while they're getting. I've seen this before in the professional poker tour. They play poker and then they're getting massages. Like, they're getting
at the
massaged
same time.
At the same time.
Ooh, that could have been actually that.
And
that
then
would
you
be
bring in
interesting.
their
All right.
fucking Robert Kraft and Deshaun Watson, and they know exactly what's going on.
All right,
You
great.
could bring in
solutions.
Michael Irvin and his cocaine.
Great
to
solutions.
be a part of this.
All right, real quick here, JG, just give me a quick summarization. What does this Russell Westbrook signing to the Clippers means for the Clippers?
For the Clippers, I think it gives you a little bit better chance than you had at being a contender, at competing for a championship. Because I know a lot of people out there are just saying, well, Russell Westbrook was a shitball in the Lakers, and that's true. But you also had a guy like LeBron James who dominated the ball every single possession. And now it's a little bit different on the Clippers because Kawhi Leonard, while he also is a great player, he likes to dominate the ball. He's also he's not as much of an alpha dog as LeBron James. And so I think it's a little bit better situation because I think the Lakers had a shit ball. Let me take that back. No, they didn't have a shit ball coach. They had a mediocre coach.
Mediocre.
I do believe in Ty Lue. You guys know I love Ty Lue. He won a championship, albeit with LeBron James, but I do believe that Ty Lue can figure out a way to figure this thing out with and you know, Russell Westbrook doesn't have a choice, dude. If Russell Westbrook can't figure out a way to make this thing work with an elite coach like Ty Lue, his career's over, and he fucking knows it. He fucking knows it. So you throw him in there with fucking Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, two elite wing players who not only can they fucking shoot, they play fucking defense. Now, what does Russell Westbrook do? Well, last time I checked, he can't shoot or play fucking defense. So you put him in there in a situation with those two assholes and Ty Lue, and I really think it's going to work, guys. Like, I know these guys are laughing their ass off, but this is the
It's not about
best
this
chance.
segment. It's not about this segment.
This is the
Part
best
of it
chance,
is.
dude. This is the best chance Russell Westbrook would have to win a championship. And I actually believe in him, dude. You know, I call him Russell Westbrook. I don't do like ESPN, all these assholes that like to use the brick word and all that stuff. Like, he's one of the best 75 players in the history of this game. And so, dude, you guys are laughing at my ass right now. This thing is going to fucking work.
I'm not talking about
They-
this.
They may not, dude, they may not win a fucking championship, but I'll tell you what, they're going to look better than Westbrook looked on the Lakers. I can tell you that right the fuck now.
All right, Scott wants to know if you didn't catch NBA on our NBA show In the Hoop on Saturday mornings, who does JG think is coming out of the West?
It's, you know, right now, you guys know how it is in the NBA. Everything changes from week to week.
Don't you say something different than you did. Saturday.
Every-
It
no.
hasn't been a week.
No, fuck no. Everything changes from week to week, but I'm sticking with the Phoenix Suns. And I know, Mike,
Well, that's my
you
team.
fucking agree with me because you're
Well,
a fan of that fucking team.
You know, I was out. I was like, all right, the Suns are done. This whole season's a wash. It's over.
you got to
but,
look at it. You
The-
got to look
the
at
moment
this way, dude.
the moment that KD trade went down, I was like, holy shit, they could actually. This whole thing that I was thinking was over is all ready to go. It's possible still.
Yeah, you got to look at it this way, dude. Like, they are the favorite on paper.
Yeah.
And like right now, Boston is the favorite to win the championship at plus 280 on
correct.
FanDuel. Phoenix is number 2 at plus 450. But that just means that Phoenix is the favorite right now to win the West. Now, you look at these guys on paper, they have the best team if they are healthy. Now, that's a big if, because we know CP3 has had an injured dick his whole fucking life, and KD's been injured the last 4 fucking years. But if they're healthy, this is the best team on paper. So you've got Devin Booker, CP3, DeAndre Ayton. You know, who knows what the fuck. I thought I heard a report the other day they're going to bring in Draymond Green.
That's
play for
not
that fucking team.
happening.
But like they are the favorite, guys. Now, that's not who I think is going to win. But if I was going to bet on it right now, I'm going with Phoenix. I think things are going to change. I mean, dude,
To come out of the West.
there's going to be a lot of changes. I mean, KD is not even fucking playing right now.
But next week he will be.
Yeah,
The idea is
he
that
will
he'll be playing
be.
either this Sunday or the following Wednesday.
he will be. But, you know, I would bet my money right now on the Phoenix Suns to come out of the West.
You got Celtics beating the Suns in 6, like Scott.
Yeah, if we're throwing those two fucking teams out there on the floor right now,
Mhm.
there's absolutely no defense. There is zero defense on the Phoenix Suns.
Yep.
The Celtics would destroy their ass.
So
Probably
the
win it in
Sun- the Suns
4 or
gotta
5
go-
games.
The Suns got to go score like 130 a game, basically, down the stretch.
Yeah, they do. So Scott, or not Scott, sorry. Tufel is asking. So my Denver friends are saying the Nuggets are actually good.
Yeah,
this
so-
season.
so
they are
finally,
the one. seed of the
Jokic
West.
is actually going to be deserving of an MVP. If
He
was to win.
deserved it the last couple of years.
I don't- look, I'm tired
Just
of
because he
him,
wasn't a 1 seed doesn't mean
Look,
you have to be.
But if you're going to give a guy
Not
MVP, the team should at least be really good. For the last couple of years, they've just been
Here's
average.
here's the thing about the Nuggets, guys,
Still a
right?
top
So
6
they're
seed.
the Nuggets are top heavy, right? They've got the best player in the league, allegedly, in Nikola Jokic.
The
And
best
I
player in
give
the
him
league.
I give him full credit. He's a great fucking
Put
player,
some
right?
respect on his name.
But like what else is there on that fucking team?
Jamal
Like,
Murray is back healthy.
Jamal Murray, yeah,
Uh,
allegedly he's healthy.
Michael, whatever his name is, that helped. Play
You know
with
what?
Mizzou.
You know what Jamal Murray reminds me of? He reminds me of Chris Paul fucking 10 years ago. He still got injured back then, believe it or
Yeah.
not. He still injured his dick. And so
But now,
I-
I mean,
I
that was an
don't-
ACL. That takes you out for a year. Like this
I
is
do
a whole
not-
deal that Jamal Murray.
the thing about the NBA is like it's different than the NFL. In the NFL, when you look at these records at the end of the regular season, you know who the best teams are. It's not so in the NBA.
No, it's not.
You look at the best records, you're like, wow, that team's really good. And then it never fails, dude. They shit the bed in the playoffs. And that's exactly what's going to happen to the Denver Nuggets. I mean, I understand it's very difficult if the Denver Nuggets are the number 1 overall seed and you have to go into the altitude. Oh my gosh, God forbid we have to go in the altitude. God forbid, like the Kansas City Chiefs going into play against the Denver Broncos. I mean, it's just like nobody cares. Like there's no respect. Nobody respects the Nuggets because there's no firepower on that fucking team. And so, like, they have no chance.
Well, now they got what they were missing the last couple of years, which was Jamal Murray.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. Okay. This is my prediction. The Phoenix Suns, somebody will get injured, probably CP3. They will shit the bed. And then everybody's going to run to the bank to bet on the Nuggets. And you know what's going to happen after that? Golden State's going to show up and kick the living shit out of everybody.
What about the Lakers? Where do they come into play?
Oh, Lakers?
I don't want to hear about the stupid Lakers.
Going back here,
I like the Lakers, man. I think they're going to show a lot of shit, man. They're going to do some things.
So Carlos says Embiid is on the ballot, but he's on the average Sixers as well. So do you think Embiid should be a favorite for the MVP this year?
I just think. So here's the thing: when you look at the history of the NBA, we go back to Steve Nash, 1-2 in a row.
Okay, it's the best.
You look at all these guys, Michael Jordan back in the day, 1-2 in a row. That historically, we do not let these guys win 3 in a row. And why in the world would you let Nikola Jokic win 3 in a row? I just don't. I don't think it's going to happen because the writers and all of the voters know that they incorrectly gave him that award 2 years ago and last year.
Back stuff up like that.
He did not deserve that fucking award.
That should have been Giannis, Tanner.
That team doesn't make the playoffs if Joker isn't playing.
He's not going to win that fucking award because they know they made a mistake in the last 2 fucking years.
Who would win it?
Who's going to win it this year? Probably Embiid. Embiid's going to win that fucking thing.
We just complain. You guys just complain about the team being the best.
Embiid fucking deserves it, man.
And now you're giving
he deserved it last year.
Giving it to Embiid because he deserves it.
I didn't say Embiid.
Joel Embiid deserved it last year.
You're just giving it to him.
But here, dude, I don't care who wins the MVP. I'm telling you, the Nuggets aren't going to do shit in the playoffs, right? It's all about the Golden State Warriors, Phoenix Suns.
But the Nuggets are better.
I don't give a fuck about any of these other fucking Western Conference
teams. The Nuggets are better this year, though, than they were the previous 2 years.
Sure. On paper. Yeah, you can think that.
At least this year, the reigning MVP at least has proving, the team's winning.
I will tell you this, dude. I will tell you this right now. Jamal Murray is washed, and he's not very old. Jamal Murray reminds me of Chris Paul in that he is a small guard. He gets injured almost every fucking year, and you will not be able to depend on him in a playoff run. He's cooked. Like he's washed, man. And I hate to say that because I love to watch Jamal Murray. I mean, he's a great fucking player, but there's something about these small guards in the NBA. I don't know how Kyrie Irving did away with it, and the fact, except for the fact he started skipping games during the coronavirus.
Jason. Since he's been in the league, 82, 81, 75, 59, 48 ACL, 45 so far.
So what's the trend? If you could draw a line from the beginning to the end, what does that trend line look like? Is it going down or is it going up?
I mean, he's gone down, but he's on his way back up. He's already at 45
What's his age?
games.
Do you have his age pulled up real quick? Is he 28, 29?
His age is 25. No, sorry. Yeah, 25. 25.
So the thing that I will tell you about these small guards, they have to work harder than the fucking 7-footers and the 6'6".
So you're more worried about his ACL injury acting back up towards the end of the season.
This is the first year I don't know anything about Jamal Murray, dude.
Kentucky All-Star, like
I'm telling you, in the last 3 years, we haven't seen the motherfucker.
You have.
No, we haven't seen him. He's been injured the whole fucking time.
Ever since after the playoffs.
Do you want to know what Jamal Murray is this year? Jamal Murray is Klay Thompson last year. When you look at that guy and you ask your question, is he 100%? Is he 75%? Is he 60%? What the fuck is he? Klay Thompson right now, I mean, with all that he's been through, I still think Klay Thompson is only like 85 to 90% of what he was.
You said last
This
year?
is, yeah, this is when you look at a guy like Jamal Murray, like this is his first year in the last 2 to 3 years where he's like actually shown that he
Why
could
would you
potentially
do
be
that?
healthy.
Klay Thompson only played 32 games last year.
How many? Oh, so how many did Jamal Murray play
Murray's up to 45 already, and we're just entering out to the All-Star break.
from this year?
From this year. He just
That's
did.
fine.
The
I'm
only
just saying-
difference is Klay Thompson tore both of his ACLs versus Murray just tearing.
I'm
them.
just telling you that the playoffs are different, my friend. This is not a regular season game. Kawhi Leonard doesn't give a fuck about the regular season. That's why he did all of his load management and shit. He's showing up for the playoffs, the same exact thing that Kevin Durant is doing. Kevin Durant doesn't give a shit about the last 2 months. These guys are ramping up for the playoffs. I don't know what to expect from Jamal Murray. I know what to expect from Kevin Durant and Nikola Jokic, but I'm telling you, dude, they don't have enough firepower in Denver. It's
Okay.
not going to happen. It's Phoenix and it's Golden State. That's it. You have nothing else in the West. Maybe Memphis. I'm warming up to the idea of Memphis because fucking what's his nuts was injured last year.
John Morant.
Yeah,
'Cause he got injured in the
so he
playoff
was
game.
injured during the playoffs.
Yeah, in the playoff game, and that kind of cost him. the last couple.
So, but again, like he's young enough, like he could actually show up and do some damage. So yeah, I'll give you the Memphis Grizzlies, but Denver's not gonna do shit, dude. It's not because I'm a hater, right? Like I would love to see Denver, do great things, but it's just not gonna happen. There's not enough firepower over there.
All right, guys. We'll tune in Saturday about 10 o'clock Central for in the Hoop Saturday morning show with JG and myself. We'll be talking more NBA then. All right, real quick, guys. I have 3 teams I just want some quick advice on for the Scouting Combine. Tomorrow, the Whiskey Sports Podcast. Go check it out on Let's Talk Sports as well. I'll be breaking down a little bit more in depth in the Scouting Combine, but today we're just going to do some quick 3 things that certain teams are looking for. So I'm going to start here. Let's start with the Chiefs. Okay, our team. What are we looking at tomorrow Tuesday, starting Tuesday for the Combine?
Well,
what position groups?
I mean, Tuesday's just weigh-ins basically, so they're getting weigh-ins.
Well, starting
the-
Tuesday, the Combine.
It's obviously
You know what I mean.
week long. Well, he's like, "What are we looking for?" I'm like, "Well, to see what the hell they're weighing." But
starting Tuesday.
yeah, I mean, obviously the Chiefs are in a situation where they can go a lot of different directions in the draft, and no one's going to be upset about it necessarily. I think that it's one of those situations where I think wide receiver is going to be once again something that should be
Yes.
prioritized.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you for that, Mike.
I think we'll
Thank you.
see how things look, and maybe we can find a Juju clone somewhere in this draft, and get something similar to him anyway. The guy in year 2 that put up 1,400 yards receiving. That's the kind of Juju I'd like to see become a Chief. So I think that's something to watch out for. I think that it might surprise you guys. I could see the Chiefs, here at this point in this draft. We just took a corner and an edge rusher in this previous draft.
Correct.
I could see them doing that again in the first round this year. This could because of the talent that's out there, and because those are positions of priority in a lot of ways. I think that we have Joey Porter Jr. here in this draft, and I'm curious to see where he falls here coming up. Obviously, the son of Joey Porter, the famous Steelers linebacker. But yeah, I think that in this situation, I mean, first of all, when you have your scouts out there at the Combine, I mean, you're watching everybody. I mean, you might have interviews with certain players,
But you're watching everybody.
but you're there for everybody. You're there to see who stands out, who catches your eye, who you can go back to and, put together a game plan of, oh, we got to get this guy in for a visit and this and that afterwards. So it's a tough question, Tanner, in a lot of ways, because I see it as you got to look at the whole wide-eyed picture of the whole thing is that you could do anything.
So
at this
if I
point.
was
everybody should be on your radar.
if your casual fan is out here and they want to watch 3 position groups of the Combine come, the main parts Friday, Saturday, Sunday, what are you going to tell them to watch?
Without a doubt, watch the D-line group, watch the corners, and watch the receivers.
Okay.
Those are the
JG?
groups you want to watch.
It's all about wide receivers because, like, ending the year, I mean, we can all go back to the preseason where guys like Bart Scott on ESPN were saying, "Oh, Mahomes doesn't have any fucking receivers to throw to. This is going to be a rebuilding year for the Chiefs." Well, that might have been true, even though we won the fucking Super Bowl. They're still going to be watching the receivers, and I feel like that's the one area where if you could get an elite wide receiver on the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, like that puts us a step ahead of the rest of the league. You
Yep.
know, so that's the group
We
that
just-
I'm going to be
you
watching.
want reliability and depth, obviously, because you find yourself in that situation here, as we saw in the playoffs, where we had injury after injury. It was like Juju went down, Hardman went down again, Tony went down, and all of a sudden you're out there rolling out. Your top receivers at this point are Marquez, and then you have Sky Moore and Marcus Kemp. Like, we don't want to run into that again. Like, we got to find the guys that can provide
Ahmad
depth to the
Marset
team and
from
healthy.
Minnesota too, in that range. So
just give him a big
Yeah.
dick receiver, man. That's all.
So-
I
As
want.
far as far as
Give him a big
as far as
dick
quarterbacks
receiver.
go, though, I mean, I think that there's a lot of shaking and moving that's going to happen throughout this draft process. I think a lot of teams are confused right now on who they truly believe is, QB 1, 2, 3, and 4. I think right now that combination is going to be something to watch unfold as we get closer. But no one's always set in stone, in my opinion. Bryce Young, obviously, who is it that called Bryce Young the smaller version of Patrick Mahomes? I mean,
He's a short fuck.
He's
He's
five-
short as fuck.
he's
who said
5'10".
that, Jason? I think it was the ESPN guy.
I think so. He said that he
I
was
don't
a
watch it.
smaller Patrick Mahomes.
I didn't hear that.
I'm just like, man, can we quit with all the comparisons and Patrick and this and that kind of crap? It's stupid.
There's no way.
But I think there's this quarterback class is interesting. I still have not decided yet on who I prefer as being in my rankings yet. But starting March 1st, next Wednesday, we'll actually be kicking off more draft talk. So that'll be a major focus of next week's discussion.
Obviously,
So-
I've started. So
Tanner started on taking notes, I guess. So we'll really hit on that stuff quite a bit each and every Wednesday leading up to the draft. Because guess what? As you guys know, we're going to the NFL draft this year in Kansas City. So we'll be there. We'll get footage. We'll have our cameras out, and hopefully we can find some cool stuff to see and do. And who knows? Maybe we can find some people to interview. Who knows?
I hope you guys can all meet us out there because we're going to be getting shit faced.
Don't forget-
the draft. So
there's a chance Mr. Nick Boggins of the Boggins Show should be out there. So
he'll be
excited for
there.
that.
He'll be there.
Look, if we're all getting a room, like I said, I'm bringing my air mattress. You and Nick can share a bed. I'm blowing up an air mattress, putting it in the
you
corner.
said double bed. I was there.
And I firmly believe that when Botkins comes out there, he will be wearing his Aaron Rodgers
Raiders jersey.
Las Vegas Raiders jersey. By the time he gets out there, he'll be wearing that shit.
And a
Boggins-
Chiefs beanie. Yeah.
Boggins better bring that. Yeah, you know
Chiefs
that.
beanie.
We already know he tore up his shirt, so
They can-
he has to bring the
Oh,
beanie that he
gosh.
still has.
I might even have a spare shirt for Bodkins that
Oh
has,
no,
has a
no,
nice logo.
don't do that.
No?
He'll tear it up again.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I don't know if you saw
never
that
mind,
part of the
never
show
mind.
on Super Bowl.
Bottom
Sunday.
line
No-
is,
no tearing up.
bottom line is, I told you guys for weeks and weeks that Russell Westbrook was going to the Clippers, and nobody fucking believed me. Now I've been telling you about Aaron Rodgers to the Taters.
It ain't gonna happen.
Nobody fucking believes me.
All right. Do you guys got Colts or Texans taking the number 1 spot away from the Bears?
That's a good
Scott's
question.
asking.
That's a good question. Colts or Texans at this point?
Be honest with you, I don't
Um,
think any of them do. I think
but you-
Bears stay.
You guys are Justin Fields haters,
No,
though. I'm
Tanner-
the only one that sticks up for Justin
Tanner, if you-
Fields on this show.
If you're the Bears in this situation, you want to trade down.
You do.
Absolutely want to
Why?
trade down.
I don't think
Trade
they-
down.
I would listen to offers. I would at least entertain a lot of offers
a lot of.
because here's the thing, all these 4 quarterbacks right now that are pushed up, everyone's jostling for position on who they want.
Yep.
I personally could see the Texans being the team.
But you want to
The-
keep Justin Fields,
move.
right?
Well, yeah, you're not
You
going to
want to
trade
keep
Fields.
Justin Fields.
Your
'cause
idea is
a
to
lot
trade-
of people want to trade
No.
his ass.
The idea is to trade down to get other positions,
Yeah.
get more picks
Offensive
to add
line,
other positions
defensive
you need. So
line. Yeah.
I'm going to say Texans out of those 2 teams that were mentioned. That would be the number 1 to.
So are
move
you
up.
guys both think that they're going to keep Justin Fields, right? Because a lot
Yeah.
of people are thinking
I-
they're going to trade his ass.
If I'm the Bears, you absolutely keep Fields and you trade down.
Yeah, I don't
Yep.
think you take. So, all right. So my theme here, if I'm going to watch a couple positions for the Chiefs here, it'd be the edge and the D line. I really think that's going to be 2 important things, especially with Noddy and Saunders possibly gone. It's something else we really need on that defensive line. So
and O-line depth. The Chiefs need
O-line
some O-line
depth,
depth as well.
O-line's my third thing,
one-
and then wide receivers.
One thing to point out when we're looking at the O-line this year in the draft, Andy Reid likes guys that are versatile and flexible that can play guard and tackle.
Yep.
So look for guys that are similar to like Cole Strange that the Patriots took.
Yep.
Andy believes the same way about O-line as Bill Belichick. So watch guys that are going to be those tweeners, those guys that can play either tackle or guard, like Andrew Wiley, who came up in the league as a guard. Now,
Yeah, I
obviously,
can
right
see that.
tackle.
I could see that, Scott. I could see the Colts taking it because of Irsay. So, all right, my next team here. You know what? We'll just do this one. It's the last team here for you guys. So the Philadelphia Eagles are counterpart for the Super Bowl. There are a lot of free agencies on there. A lot of defensive line guys: Cox, Quinn, Graham, Hargrave. They also lost Jason Kelsey potentially right now, along with Samelo. That was kind of a backup role that they helped. Sue, Linval Joseph on the defensive line. That's kind of the
I totally
big
forgot.
names.
I totally forgot Linval Joseph was on the
Yep.
Eagles.
Yep. And Miles Sanders is in there. Boston Scott's also in the free agency list. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson kind of goes on the way. So if you're the Eagles, what 3 position groups are you watching for Eagles fans?
Well, it sounds like to me you're ready to reload out D-line because, first of all, you have an aging D-line anyways as it is. So you're worried about that in the future of what that's going to look like. As great as those guys have been throughout their career, there are lots of guys in their 30s in that line at the moment. So I think adding some youth to that part, even Hassan Reddick is one of those guys which is kind of crazy because I liked him a lot coming out in the draft. Isn't he like 29? I mean,
I'll look it up real quick.
even he's
right
kind
now.
of those guys that's getting up there in age. But I just think you want to get, first of all, younger and cheaper across the board because guys like Brandon Graham,
28.
Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox, like they're costing you some money right now, and it's gonna be time to
Costing us some fucking money.
to get some guys on your board that's
Look at
gonna
all this fucking
cost you
money.
next to nothing. So,
Shit.
anyway, D-line and otherwise, as far as other position groups go, I mean, the Eagles are a really, really talented team. Scott says Bijan Robinson to the Eagles. Absolutely. Bijan Robinson's a freaking badass runner. He's insane. He's fun to watch. He's very nifty with the footwork. So big fan of Robinson. What the hell are you doing over there?
I agree. What the hell was that? I agree with you. It's the D line.
Danny,
Fix that.
let
Fix
us go
that
on the
fucking D
stairs.
line, asshole.
so-
Fix that fucking
So
D line.
Hassan Reddick too, thinking about him.
Yeah.
So his contract, his potential out year is after 2024.
Mhm.
So I mean, you got to kind of think of that ahead too. That you have a big
I
contract.
mean, you got to reload. First of all, that's a great D line. They had 72 sacks,
Something like that.
something crazy like that. Just as a group, as a team, obviously. But I right now I'm looking at this and going like, okay, these guys are all really, really good, but the money and the age, time to get younger. So I'm gonna focus on the D line if I'm the Eagles.
And I totally agree with you because why wouldn't you fix that D line? Because when you look at the NFC in general, they're all going to have shitball quarterbacks for the near future. So all you have to do is play great defense and just
Right.
fucking destroy those shitty ass quarterbacks like Marcus Mariota, throw him on his ass, and then you'll be good to go.
If I'm the Eagles, focus on defense because Bradbury, I could see him being gone. I think he's a free agent too right now.
Yep.
And so I just think you got to get younger. All these guys that we just named off are older players. I mean, this is a defense that had a lot of
I could see
guys around 30 veterans in that group.
like I could see Jason Kelsey coming back for a couple more years with the Eagles, not
Sure.
necessarily needing to sign.
He should be a priority because
he should
First
be.
of all, when they're running that QB sneak thing, like he's a big focal point of why that works so well too. I mean, he is one of the best and smartest centers.
I'm not
in the league.
I'm not overly concerned about that position because I think Kelsey does come back for that team.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, if not, you got Connor McGovern at 29. He's right up there, right around the same average for 2022, and Ronnie Hudson, who's a couple years younger than Kelsey. So, it's a couple of things. I mean, I'm kind of with you though. It's gonna be all defense for the Eagles essentially. I do like Bijan of the Eagles would be insane, but I don't think you're gonna have to necessarily look that way. So, I like defense for the Eagles. So catch more tomorrow. I think we're starting 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern for the Whiskey Sports Podcast, my channel. And then we'll be on Let's Talk Sports as well, breaking down the scouting combine and kind of what teams to watch for and stuff like that. So excited for it.
Yeah, looking forward to keeping track of the news and seeing what
Mhm.
else coming out, and getting on your websites and Twitter and all that, and just watching it kind of unfold in
It-
real time.
It starts, guys.
Because here's the thing: Tuesday and Wednesday is used for the weigh-ins and then interview process, and as well as getting your bench numbers
Yeah.
put on, stuff like that, and then the actual drills on fields
It started
begin.
Friday.
I think
or
it's
Saturday?
Thursday. Actually,
Thursday?
I think it starts Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I believe is how it finishes out.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I think.
Exciting times. Lots of sports to come to, guys. So just quick shout outs here. So tomorrow, Whiskey Sports Podcast, 8:30 Eastern, right here on Whiskey Sports Podcast and Let's Talk Sports. Saturday morning in the Hoop with JG and myself. 10 a.m. Central, 11 Eastern. And then you catch us Monday night, Buffoon and Botkins, as we go over, hopefully this time with Jim Behringer, not myself, doing some NHL news with the trade deadline happening, and then also talking MLB with Jonathan Grishman on the AL or NL West division this time. So excited for it. Always a good time. You guys got anything else here?
Why does Jason keep counting his money on the table?
Dude, it's all about don't pay attention to this shit. It's all about Derek Carr, Lamar Jackson, and Aaron Rodgers. You guys need to figure out where those three fuckers are going to play next year, okay?
Did you not see the
I don't
news?
care about the rest of
Scott
this shit.
released it that the Jets offered a big contract to them.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they
That's
did.
good. That's good, man.
It's
Those
gonna
are the
be-
only three players that matter right now.
Derek Carr is going to go to the Jets, and he's going to hate it because it's going to be cold as hell. That when December rolls around, he can't play in the cold weather. It's going to be
All of a
hard.
sudden,
It's going to be a hard time.
Jets missed the playoffs just the same way.
That's all I got, man.
All right, guys, everybody, thank you for joining us. Please make sure you like, subscribe, follow, hit the bell. That way you know when we're live here. We got lots of content dropping for you this next couple months, especially with draft content. Excited to go over that with you guys. So, everybody, have a fabulous week. We'll chat next time. See you guys.
Outro.
Yeah.